Welcome back to High Integrity Skills. My name is Giovanni, and today in this video, I want to give you my 10 hacks to increase your dating value. Whether you're going for short-term relationships or you're going for longer-term relationships, these 10 hacks are based around short-term boosts. That means that they'll increase your attraction value quickly. Tip number 10 is get a leather jacket. Here's why. Most guys on their dating profiles and when they go on the first date look pretty generic. Have you ever gone to like a meat market bar? What you might notice in some of these cities is you look around and every single guy there is dressed in like dad jeans and a plaid shirt, and they all look the same. And then some other bars you go to, let's say in New York, you look around and every guy there is like in a suit and tie, like they just got off work. So if you're a guy who can dress up in a suit, right, in your profile picture, but then you also have a profile picture where you look cool in a jacket, where you're casual, it gives you that level of dominance that you wouldn't have otherwise. The first time I wore a leather jacket, it felt out of place. It felt weird. The leather felt weird on my skin. And over time, it becomes second nature. The clothing kind of absorbs and becomes a part of you. And funny enough, I started finding myself, behaving a little bit more dominant, and it also looks more dominant to women. Okay? Remember, in dating, it's not about who you are on the inside. At first, it's about what you can express about yourself to the marketplace that the other person values. Tip number 9 is have a different hair color versus your eye color. In the book Survival of the Prettiest, Professor Nancy Adcoff mentions this experiment where researchers went to an Aborigines culture where they had no access to Western media, and they asked them to rank the most beautiful faces of men and women. And what she found was that when all of the variables were controlled, these human beings who had no access to, media, television, pop culture, found people with differing eye color versus hair color more attractive. So an easy way to leverage this scientific data is to dye your hair, for example. I used to wear light brown contacts, okay? And I just get the zero prescription ones, and I pop them on, and I noticed I got a lot more compliments that way as well. Try it out. Another thing you can do is you go to Photo Feeler, upload 2 pictures of the exact same picture, but one of them go on Fiverr and have your eyes edited a slightly different color, and then see what your attraction score is based on that one variable alone. You'll be surprised by the results, okay? Tip number 8, use a lookbook. So a lookbook is kind of like a recipe for a certain look or a certain style. It's used in the modeling industry to capture a template for a certain look for a shoot. And now you can use it to kind of put together your outfit, right? It's kind of like building a computer and you have all the specs. Well, a lookbook tells you what brand the item is, the clothing item, how to put it together, and then how that entire look kind of comes together. In the beginning, I had no style sense. So I would pick out like the brand name clothes that are really expensive, but they didn't look good together. Instead, what I learned was if you have a template, you can even go to like thrift stores if you're on a budget and just find items that look like that. And you can put together a really amazing look by just throwing together 3 or 4 very simple items. In the beginning, when you don't have style awareness, just emulate a look that works. And if you want more help with your style attraction, how do I spend the minimum amount of money for the maximum style attraction points? It's about dollar to style points, okay? If you want more help with that, go to High Integrity Skills/style4. I've put together 8 style attraction triggers for you that will show you how to upgrade your style completely free. Enjoy. Tip number 7 is get a hairstyle that fits your face. My hairdresser used to tell me, your hair is the window to your soul. Therefore, make it a work of art. And I didn't quite understand what she meant until I started playing with my hair. I would use different hair products. I would experiment with different styles. I would grow my hair out. When I was a kid, I just had that little Asian bowl haircut, And my mom would cut my hair and I used to cry all the time because it looked so bad. So nowadays I go on Pinterest and I try to find people that have a similar facial structure and similar hair texture and length. So some of you might have hair that's very coarse, right? It's very thick and it's hard to comb straight. Some of you might have more wavy hair like me. Others might have very straight, thin hair, okay? You wanna find someone with similar hair texture and then go on Pinterest and I search for Asian men, wavy hair, Asian men, medium cut. And I would find pictures and I'll bring them to my barber and I'll be like, what are your thoughts about this? And she'll be like, oh, that hair is too thick. It's not like yours, or this one's good. We can probably do it this way. And I have a front picture and then I have a back picture of how I would like to have my hair look. And then I would consult the hairstylist. And then I compare what's realistically likely given the stylist skills, and I kind of combine the two. If you have a more rectangular face, short is better. If you have a more oval or round face, usually a little bit longer hairstyle looks better. Number 6 is your eyebrows. I used to have a unibrow, and the funny thing is no one will tell you if you have a unibrow because it's socially unacceptable. As a guy, you don't want to tweeze your eyebrows too much, which I did because it makes you look very feminine. Instead, what you do is you take a comb, as my hairstylist taught me, and then you take scissors and you kind of cut it that way so you can control how much hair you cut out. And then you just want to pluck around the eyebrow, not the eyebrow itself, so that it looks clean. And I noticed that just having like well-maintained eyebrows made a big difference to my overall face and how it looked. Number 5, slow down your movements. So in the beginning, I was very jerky. I was always really nervous around women and I'd be like, just very unsure of myself. I started practicing slowing down my movements and moving more deliberately. I even put a book on my head and I would try to move around the house and do the things I would normally do with a book on top of my head, just to see if I can keep that balance, right? One of my bullies used to call me bobblehead because I would always go like this. And so I'd put that, and then I would slow down my hand movements. Sometimes I gaze at a girl really quickly, like, hey, how's it going? And I just try to slow that down a little bit and kind of be like, okay, a little bit more of a calm, enthusiastic, quiet confidence, a quiet energy, rather than this like jerky kind of movement, right? Which can be very startling to some girls. That doesn't mean that if there's an emergency or if you're in a hurry, you're still moving like really slow. No, if you're in a hurry, if there's an earthquake, get up and, run, find cover. It just means training your mind to be like more alert, more present, and then slowing down just a little bit and taking your time with wherever you are. And I promise you, when you do that, women will perceive you as more attractive. Because 1, you're a guy who's not afraid to take his time. And 2, even if you're still a little jerky now, she can still see that you're at least trying to be in control of your communication. And a lot of communication is nonverbal. And that's why we choose deliberately to control movements and move more slowly, okay? In salsa class, in basketball, any skill set, people are always trying to learn the most advanced moves. The masters that I've met, they do the basic moves slowly, precisely, the fundamentals. That's what I hope that I can start instilling into the way you think about dating as a skill set. Number 4 is eye contact. I struggle with this a lot because growing up as an Asian kid, you would always taught to, kind of bow your head down, and it's impolite to look at someone directly in the eyes. There are 3 types of eye contact that I practiced that I hope can help you. The first one is from Avatar. I didn't get it from Avatar, but watching the movie reminded me of it, which is really looking at the person in their eyes and kind of letting them know, like, I see you, I'm here, okay? And it's the idea that I see you right now, you have my full attention. The second type of eye contact is if a girl looks really stunning. If I'm out at a bar, right? I will look at her like I admire her beauty. Because let's face it, if she took that long to get ready, if she looks that stunning, you want to reward her for her effort, right? But what most guys do is they either sexualize it. Whoa, look at the boobs on that one, damn, that dress, those curves. But instead, I just look at it like I appreciate same way I appreciate a beautiful rainbow, the same way I appreciate a beautiful work of art, just admiring the artwork. And I think women can sense that difference between a creep, like someone who's like sexualizing it, versus someone who appreciates the beauty, no more, no less. And then as I start conversing with her, the mentality that I have with my eye contact is, okay, I see the painting that you put together. I admire it. And then I'm trying to see like the artist behind the painting. What was he thinking when he painted this? How long did it take her to get ready today? Why is she wearing that dress at this venue? What's likely to be her goal tonight? What's likely to be her life story? Let me just take a guess for fun. And then as I'm talking to her, I'm learning more about her. I'm putting the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together. And I'm saying, oh, this is the type of girl she is. And I would like to get to know more, okay? This is a totally different approach than let me game her and say these lines versus, I'm trying to get her number, or like, hey, I hope she goes home with me if I buy her a drink. It's a totally different mindset. It's a mindset of seeking the truth with the person that you're with, and then bring forward your best presentation of your truth, okay? And this is a complete shift in the mentality of dating. And the reason why I'm making these videos, because I just don't see that on YouTube, and also I don't see that in the world today. Which brings me to tip number 3. And this is a mistake that a lot of like more awkward guys make, a lot of Asian guys make. I used to make this mistake a lot. It's called pecking. In the animal kingdom, pecking is when a beta submits to an alpha, okay? After a fight or just in a social hierarchy. And a lot of guys start doing this because unconsciously they don't even know they're doing it. And it's kind of like you're talking to a girl and you kind of lean down a little bit, you're talking to a guy and you're like, yes, yes, and you peck. Actually in Asian culture, in a business setting, it's a normal thing to do. But in a dating setting, it's not always the most attractive, especially if you're talking to non-Asian girls. I caught myself doing it and I learned to always catch myself and kind of lean back.
Now lean back. Lean back. Lean back.
So a common question I get is, well, what if I'm in a loud club? I can't hear what she's saying. So two things. One is I can go up to her and basically lightly whisper in her ear, or I learn to project my voice in the club so that I can talk louder and reach more people. As you gain more experience, as you realize you can attract the type of girls you want, your natural unconscious behavior changes as you get more results. And pecking stops becoming one of those automatic behaviors. I think Jordan Peterson talked about serotonin in the lobster's brains and how they behave differently, right?
I mean, this lobster stuff was getting memed right and left, and it converts to sales.
The kids now think lobsters are gay. It's all wolves and sheep. They want to be told to leave their fugly wives for hotter ones.
While you're working your way up there, just being aware of that, those little micro calibrations non-verbally will really increase your attraction score. What you'll realize on this journey is that a lot of your attraction over time is nonverbal. Tip number 2, stop using generic openers. 90% of guys that first reach out to me, they don't know what to say to reach the social hook point where you have a truthful connection. You're so beautiful. I had to come over and talk to you. You look so cute with the haircut. I love that dress. I just thought you were really sexy. While these can work, I believe, based on a lot of years of experience, that unless you're super good looking, or if you are tall, if you look like Brad Pitt, you're white, you're tall, and you look good, there's a lot of room for error. Those openers have a very small margin of error. So instead, I've developed openers that have a larger margin of error if you're not traditionally good looking. So the first thing I did was I eliminated all of those generic greetings or greetings that kind of have an agenda. Yes, the moment that you approach someone, you're basically telling them, I see value in you, right? Otherwise, why would you be talking to them? So yes, there's that initial investment. Then people overinvest with what they say. So what you can do is you can open with something that equals a playing field a little bit. Hey, you look cool. Are you? Hey, you look interesting. Are you? Hey, I was on my way to see my friends. I really liked your style, and I just wanted to stop for a second and say hello. So what is your name? Okay. I'm giving them value, but I'm not sexualizing it. I'm not telling them that I necessarily want to date them. I just say they look stylish, or they look interesting, or there was something I noticed about them that made me want to stop, okay? And that is a lot better than you're so beautiful, you're so sexy, because right away it's like the girl can sense it, like this guy wants something from me. And if you're hot and you're white and you look good, she's gonna be like, all right, there's value, I can see value right there. But if you're not, then you have to actively game for value. And as you game for value over time, you'll eventually, there's like a download bar where you hit that tipping point and she's like, this guy seems interesting. He's not physically my type, or usually I don't go for guys like him, but it's something about him makes me want to talk to him more. And that's the definition of game, right? To be able to influence an event or outcome with other people that you wouldn't have otherwise. That's where the game is played. The number 1 tip I have for you is to see this as a skill set, right? I think of it as I'm a character in Diablo or Elden Ring, and I'm allocating my skill points. Any battle that I lose, any rejection that I face, it's only temporary, it's just a game. And it's a skill. So are you gonna be hard on yourself or somebody if you miss a basketball? No, you pick up the ball and you work on your fundamentals, your dribbling and your shot, and you try again. Are you gonna be mad at a toddler for failing to learn how to walk? Of course not. Dating is a skill set. Your ability to date has no reflection of who you are as a person or how good of a person you are. It simply has to do with how you convey the interesting, unique parts of you to the marketplace. And there's a system for that, and there's a process for that. And that's why I never take any one rejection personally. I know when you're in the trenches, it's easier said than done. If you're getting rejected over and over again, I've been there, I know it feels like the whole world is against you and you're the only one who's not getting laid and you'll never be loved. I've been there. I've actually been there for many years. I feel you. The good news though is that now you have all these tools available to you online, on YouTube, and digital courses. Some of them are available here in my description as well. And you have access to more information than ever before. And this is something that you want to improve. My suggestion is find someone who you resonate with, who seems to share your core values, and find someone who has evidence that they've achieved the results that you wanted. And then find that person as a coach to help you overcome some of your blind spots. Let's recap the 10 steps. Get a leather jacket. Differentiate your eye color from your hair color. Use a lookbook. Try out different haircuts. Clean up your eyebrows. Slow down your movements. Focus your eye contact. Remove pecking. Stop using generic or compliment openers. Focus on the process over the outcome, and don't take any rejection personally. If you want more resources and more help on exactly what to say, the lines you can use to improve your online dating, the style attraction triggers you can use to improve your look and your image, and your photographs, check out the links and the resources in my description. Enjoy.